Уважаемые делегаты,
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin our regular plenary session of the last day of work of our conference, and I would like to now open our discussions of agenda item 8, entitled Other Matters. Under this agenda item, the conference may wish to review progress made in the further promotion of the ratification or accession to the Convention. Reference is made to conference room paper COSP 2015 CRP 1, which contains the status of ratification as of 15 October 2013. With regard to notification requirements under the Convention may further wish to consider how best to ensure the availability of the up-to-date information required in accordance with Article 6, Paragraph 3, Article 23, Paragraph 2D, Article 44, Paragraph 6A, Article 46, Paragraph 13 and 14, Article 55, Paragraph 5, and Article 66, Paragraph 4 of the Convention. Information on the authorities designated for assistance in prevention, mutual legal assistance, and asset recovery is available in conference room paper CAC/COSP/2015/CRP2 that was distributed in hard copies to delegations. Does any delegation wish to take the floor on this agenda item? I do not have anyone on my list of speakers, so I'd like to see whether anyone would like to take the floor at this stage. I see none. Now, if there are no requests for the floor, then the discussion of this item is closed. I'd like to now turn to agenda item 9, entitled Provisional Agenda for the 7th Session. I'd like to remind delegates that the adoption of the provisional agenda for the next session is not a direct requirement of the current session, but this has been the traditional practice of our conferences, and only during the last meeting in Panama, the conference did not adopt the agenda, breaking with the tradition. So right now, I would like to ask delegates to carry the additional discussions, make sure that we strike the right balance, and try to adopt the draft provisional agenda so that we do not repeat what took place in Panama. And I'd like to say that informal consultations are continuing on this issue, and this is why I suggest that, having procedurally opened the discussion of this agenda item, to postpone any further discussion of this item and come back to this issue after the informal consultations have been concluded. And you can find the draft provisional agenda in document CAC/COSP/2015/L2. Now, colleagues, we have several resolutions of the conference where our work has been completed. And I'd like to turn to our next agenda item and begin the procedure of adopting the resolutions that have been already finalized and translated into all the official languages of the UN. Resolution COSP 2015 L3 Rev 2. Presented by Germany and Israel. The title of the resolution is Promoting the Use of Information and Communication Technologies for the Implementation of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. As far as I know, during the process of consultations, the text of this resolution has been agreed, and the conference can adopt this resolution. May I take it that the conference can adopt this resolution? Adopted. Are there any delegations that would like to take the floor and make a statement in connection with Resolution CAC COSP 2015 L3, introduced by Germany and Israel? Are there any delegations wishing to become co-sponsors of this resolution? I see a request for the floor. Yes, you have the floor.
Вы желаете выступить соавтором?
Would you like to be a co-sponsor of this resolution? Delegation, I'm sorry, I don't see the nameplate from here.
Австрия.
Austria. Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. We only like to tell you that we like to support this item. Thank you.
Спасибо, ваше заявление принято.
Thank you very much. We take note of your statement.
Если больше нет
Now, if there are no other requests for the floor, then we can now turn to Resolution CAC COSP 2015 L4. Rev 2, introduced by Azerbaijan, Algeria, Brazil, Vietnam, Palestine, Indonesia, Jordan, Qatar, Kuwait, Malaysia, Peru, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Turkey, and the Philippines. This is a revised draft resolution with the title Prevention of Corruption by Promoting Transparent, Accountable, and Efficient Public Service Delivery through the Application of Best Practices and Technological Innovations. As far as I know, the text of this resolution has been agreed during the process of consultations, and may I take it that the conference is ready to adopt this resolution?
возражений нет.
Any objections? Adopted. Are there any delegations that would like to take the floor at this moment or become the co-sponsors of this resolution? Israel, you have the floor. Would you like to be a co-sponsor of this resolution?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'd like to co-sponsor this resolution.
Спасибо, ваше заявление принято.
Thank you very much. We take note of your statement.
Делегация Фиджи.
Fiji, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fiji would also like to co-sponsor this resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо, ваше заявление принято.
Thank you very much. I take note of your statement.
Это делегация Парагвая.
Paraguay.
Thank you, Chair. Paraguay would also like to co-sponsor this resolution. Thank you.
Принято.
Very much. I take note of your statement.
Пожалуйста, делегация Бангладеш.
Bangladesh, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to support this resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо, заявление.
Thank you very much. Take note of your statement.
Это делегация Омана.
Delegation of Oman.
شكرا السيد الرئيس نود أن
Thank you, Mr. President. We would also like to co-sponsor this resolution.
Yes, I take note of your statement. I see no other requests for the floor. Now we turn to our next resolution.
Резолюция CAC COSP 2015 L6, версия 2. Ее внесли Гаити, Гватемала.
Resolution L6, Rev 2, introduced by Fiji, Guatemala, Haiti, Mauritius, and Nauru. Revised draft resolution. Resolution is entitled Strengthening the Implementation of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption in Small Island Developing States. As far as I know, during the process of the consultation, agreement was reached on the text of this draft resolution. May I take it that the conference is ready to adopt Resolution L6? Any objections? Adopted. Are there any requests for the floor to make statements or join the co-sponsors?
Colombia.
Colombia?
Buenos días, señor.
Good morning, Mr. President. Colombia supports the resolution, and we are in favor of it.
Не принято.
Thank you very much. I take note of your statement.
Гренада, пожалуйста.
Grenada.
Thank you, Mr. President. Grenada supports this resolution and would like to become a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Спасибо. Мадагаскар.
Thank you very much, Madagascar.
Thank you, Mr. President. Madagascar also supports this resolution.
Спасибо. Заявление принято.
Thank you very much. I take note of your statement. Gabon, please.
Merci, Monsieur le
Thank you, Mr. President. Gabon would also like to be co-sponsor of this resolution.
Заявление принято.
Thank you very much. I take note of your statement. The Comoros, please.
Merci, Monsieur.
Thank you, Mr. President. Comoros supports this resolution.
Спасибо. Заявление принято.
Thank you very much. I take note of your statement. Any other requests for the floor? Thank you. We can now turn to our next resolution, Resolution CAC-COSP 2015 L8 Rev 2. Introduced by Azerbaijan, Brazil, Guatemala, Egypt, Colombia, the United Republic of Tanzania, Paraguay, the Russian Federation, San Tome and Principe, Timor-Leste, Chile, South Africa. This is a revised draft resolution. The title is as follows: Enhancing the use of civil and administrative proceedings against corruption, including through international cooperation in the framework of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. As far as I know, the informal consultations made it possible for us to reach agreement on the text of this resolution. May I take it that the conference is ready to adopt this resolution? No objections? Adopted. Any requests for the floor? Any requests for co-sponsorship of this resolution? Iran, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. My delegation would like to co-sponsor this resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо. Ваше заявление принято.
Thank you. I take note of your statement. Mali, please.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. President. My delegation would also like to support this resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо. Еще заявление.
Thank you. Any other statements?
Оман, пожалуйста.
Oman, please.
شكرا سيد الرئيس.
Thank you, Mr. President. We support this resolution, and we would like to co-sponsor it. Thank you.
Сото.
Thank you very much. Lesotho.
Thank you, Mr. President. We would like to support this resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо. Заявление.
Thank you. I take note of your statement. Liberia.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Liberia supports this resolution.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Нет больше заявлений.
Any other requests for the floor? Thank you. Our next resolution is CAC-COSP 2015 L9 Rev 2. Introduced by Azerbaijan, Haiti, Guatemala, State of Palestine, Indonesia, Jordan, Qatar, Kuwait, Morocco, Peru, Russian Federation, Salvador, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Chile, and South Africa. Revised draft resolution.
Южная Африка.
South Africa introduced this resolution on behalf of United Nations member states forming part of the African group. The title of this resolution is Follow-up to the Marrakesh Declaration on the Prevention of Corruption. As far as I know, during the process of consultations, the text of this resolution was agreed to, and may I take it that the conference is ready to adopt Resolution L9? I see no objections. The resolution is adopted. Are there any requests for the floor? Any delegations would like to become co-sponsors? Colombia, please.
Mr. President, we fully support the text of this resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Mexico.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mexico would like to co-sponsor this resolution. Thank you.
Заявление принято.
I take note of your statement. Germany.
Thank you, Mr. President. We would also like to co-sponsor the resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you. I take note of your statement. Israel.
Thank you, Mr. President. We would like to sponsor this resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо. Заявление принято.
Thank you. France.
Thank you, Mr. President. France would like to co-sponsor this resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо. Заявление принято.
Thank you very much. Gabon.
Thank you, Mr. President. Gabon would like to co-sponsor this resolution.
Thank you. Mali.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mali would also like to support this draft resolution. Thank you.
Заявление принято.
Thank you. I take note of your statement. Iran, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. My delegation supports the resolution and would like to become a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Спасибо. Заявление принято.
Thank you. Burkina Faso.
Thank you, Mr. President. Burkina Faso would like to strongly support this resolution.
Спасибо.
Thank you. I take note of your statement. Namibia.
Thank you, Mr. President. Namibia supports the resolution and would like to become the co-sponsor of the resolution.
Спасибо. Заявление принято.
Thank you. The Comoros.
Thank you, Mr. President. Comoros supports this draft resolution.
Спасибо. Заявление.
Thank you very much. I take note of your statement. Guinea, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Guinea would like to co-sponsor this resolution.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Central African Republic.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Central African Republic would like to co-sponsor this resolution.
Спасибо.
Thank you. The United States of America.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please add the United States to the list of co-sponsors. Thank you.
Спасибо. Заявление.
Thank you. I take note of your statement. Algeria.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think that for this resolution, South Africa, as president of the African Group, mentioned that all African states were co-sponsors. Of course, Algeria is part of the African Group and is a co-sponsor. Thank you.
That is quite logical. Thank you for your statement. The Congo. Microphone, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Congo fully supports this resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Any other requests for the floor? Costa Rica.
Thank you, Mr. President. We would like to join the list of co-sponsors of this resolution.
Спасибо.
Thank you. I take note of your statement. Lesotho.
Thank you, Mr. President. Lesotho co-sponsors the resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Take note of your statement. Liberia.
Thank you, Mr. President. Liberia once again requests co-sponsorship of this resolution.
Спасибо за.
Thank you very much for your statement. Madagascar.
Thank you, Mr. President. Madagascar fully supports this draft resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sierra Leone would like to support and co-sponsor this resolution. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Спасибо. Заявление принято.
Thank you very much. I take note of your statement. Cuba.
Mr. President, Cuba would also like to co-sponsor this resolution.
Спасибо. Заявление.
Thank you. I take note of your statement. In the United Arab Emirates.
Mr. President, we would like to co-sponsor this resolution.
Спасибо.
Thank you very much. I take note of your statement. Nigeria.
Good morning, Mr. President. Mr. President, I totally agree with Algeria. This is an African group resolution, and I trust that the Secretariat is going to list the entire African countries as co-sponsors.
Хорошо, тогда не будем.
Very well, then we will no longer listen to the statements by African countries. We understand that they all are supporting this resolution and co-sponsoring it. Nicaragua, please.
Mr. President, Nicaragua would also supports this statement. Thank you. This resolution.
Спасибо.
Thank you very much. Cameroon, do you have something else to say?
Mr. President, Cameroon, as a member of the African group, would like to co-sponsor this resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you. I see no other requests for the floor. We can now turn to our next resolution, CAC COSP 2015 L10 Rev 1. Well, the Secretariat tells me that it seems that the resolution has not been translated into all of the languages, so we will wait for that. We will have the opportunity to come back to this resolution somewhat later.
I do believe. Сейчас у нас есть возможность.
Now we can discuss the report. The report of the conference.
It's okay. Let it be in English. Until the Russian arrives.
Итак, проект доклада.
So the draft report, document CAC COSP 2015 L1, Addendum 1.
Я предлагаю, во-первых,
I would suggest first not raise the questions related to translation or of a technical nature, not to discuss them here, but address the Secretariat directly. That will make the necessary amendments. And my second proposal is to discuss the draft report, taking it by sections and not by paragraphs. Now, if there are no objections,
то мы начинаем.
We can start our discussion of the report. Once again, it is contained in document CAC COSP 2015 L1.
Итак, первое.
First part of the report, introduction.
Есть ли у кого-то замечания?
Are there any comments to this part of the report? Austria.
Thank you, Mr. President. Right at the beginning, I'd like to clarify a misunderstanding by a small regional group talking about Austria as the nation that hosts the next COSP. I'd like to clarify the fact that the next COSP will be hosted by UNODC and held in Vienna. Thank you very much for that.
Спасибо за это замечание.
Thank you very much for your comment. Are there any other comments related to this part of the report? I see none. Adopted.
Теперь мы переходим к.
Let us now turn to Addendum 1. The section, the organization of the meeting. Mexico, you have a question?
Presidente, solo un punto de orden.
Just a point of order, President. The document has not been distributed to several delegations, and so it hasn't been distributed yet. Thank you.
The Secretariat must now check this information and has to ensure that delegations have the document, so we now will have a break of 15-20 minutes. Thank you. Colleagues, the representatives of the Secretariat are telling me that we can continue our deliberations, and let us resume the discussion of our draft report. Document CAC COSP 2015 L1, Addendum 1. Section 2, Organization of the Session. Subsection F, General Discussions. Are there any comments, observations on this part of the report? I see none, so we adopt this part of the report. Document CAC COSP 2015 L1 Addendum 2. Section 3, Prevention. Are there any comments, observations? Iran, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I might be missing something. May I go back to L1 and as regards to paragraph 4 of the report? My delegation would like to draw your attention to the statement made by Indonesia on behalf of the Group 77 and China, in which the group called upon all state parties to avoid unilateral sanctions that might weaken the international cooperation framework and state parties' capabilities to fight organized corruption. The exact text could be found in para 30 of the statement, and we request the Secretariat to incorporate this part in paragraph 8 of the report. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll instruct the Secretariat to do that.
Peru.
Peru, you have the floor.
Muchas gracias, señor presidente.
Thank you very much. I would like to speak to draft Addendum 2. In particular, point 7. We would like to have reflected towards the end of this paragraph an addition where it speaks of the use of electronic public procurement systems. Our addition would be, and follow-up of public works. This follow-up in relation to public works based on electronic systems is the draft which was presented by Peru, which was well received during the debates. And so we would ask the Secretary to include that phrase and monitoring or follow-up of public works in paragraph 7. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll instruct the Secretary to do that. Any other comments? South Africa.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We want to comment on document COSP 2015 L1 to reflect the statement made by the representative of South Africa on behalf of the African group. We have a written text in particular on paragraph number 9 I have several issues which we have proposed. Particular, the first sentence, which reads, the representative of South Africa, speaking on behalf of the African group, the African states, to insert, reaffirmed the unwavering commitment of the African states to fight corruption and illicit financial flows, and full stop. Then we continue, he welcomed, it continues. In line number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there is a word following. We will want to change that word to uphold. And after, in this sentence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there is a sentence which reads, the representative underscored the usefulness of launching the second review cycle. At the end, it says, the checklist used in the first cycle should be used in the second cycle in order, can you please add, in order to allow member states to truly and fully review their compliance with the provision of the convention. Following this, we have a new formulation for the last sentence, which reads, the speaker expressed serious concerns with regard to the absence of effective international cooperation and lack of information sharing to ensure the recovery and return of stolen assets that have been diverted and illicitly transferred abroad, comma, lack of political will in the requested states, and the lack of the legal barriers inherent in their legislations. The other, yes, this is all what we have to say, but we can provide this to the Secretary in writing. Thank you very much.
Да, я как раз хотел попросить вас передать.
Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you to do, to submit the written text to the Secretary. The United States, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to refer to document L1, add 1, if that is under consideration at this point.
Да, мы уже его смотрели.
Yes, we already adopted that document, but please, you have the floor.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm referring to paragraph 8 of that document, which discusses the statements on budgetary issues, and in particular, the sentence that begins with some speakers underlined that the mechanism should be funded by the regular budget of the United Nations. However, others recommended careful adjustments to ensure the efficient functioning of the mechanism. In our view, this does not fully reflect the discussion that took place during the plenary session on this topic, and we would propose to add one additional sentence that reads, some speakers further expressed their support for the current mixed funding model, with parts of the support for and operation of the mechanism funded from the regular budget and other parts from voluntary contributions in line with Conference Resolution 3/1 and the terms of reference of the mechanism. And I'm happy to provide this sentence in writing to the Secretariat.
Я прошу вас передать.
Yes, please. Can you give the Secretary the written text of your statement? Any other comments? State of Palestine. Thank you very much, Chairman. I'd like to come back to document L1. I have a comment of technical nature. The list of delegations present, paragraph 20, we have to add the name of the state of Palestine participating in the conference.
Хорошо, конечно.
Yes, of course. Once again, I'd like to ask you and make a proposal, any proposals of a technical nature to address the Secretary direct. Yes, any other comments?
Спасибо.
Thank you. Let us now turn to the next part of our report, CAC COSP 2015 L1 Addendum 3. Section 4, Asset Recovery and International Cooperation. Any comments on this section?
Я не вижу желающих выступить.
I do not see any requests for the floor. This means that we have adopted sections 3 and 4 of the report.
Сейчас у нас есть возможность.
Now, while we await the translation of the next section of the report to other languages, we can come back to the adoption of resolutions. And on L10, I would like to ask the Representative Secretary, Mr. Vassis, to take the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. The draft resolution, which is contained in document L10, Rev 1, has been slightly amended, and with your permission, I will read the amendments. Starting with the list of co-sponsors, that list now reads Brazil, Costa Rica, El Salvador, France, Germany, Guatemala, Italy, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. Then, if I may direct your attention to footnote number 2. That footnote will now read, as at the date of the adoption of this resolution, 86 states that were parties to the convention at the start of the first review cycle had completed their country reviews. In this regard, I would like to make an additional clarification, Mr. President. The number of executive summaries that have been completed and issued right now stands at 107. While the text of the footnote will remain unaltered, this clarification will be included in the report. Then, if I may direct you to operative paragraph 4 of the draft resolution. The brackets will be removed and the following text will be added at the end after the words "the first cycle." Please add the following text: "and without prejudice to the launch and commencement of the second cycle." I repeat, the brackets will be removed and the following text will be added after the words "the first cycle" at the end of this paragraph, and without prejudice to the launch and commencement of the second cycle. Then, if I may direct your attention to operative paragraph 17. The brackets around the word "note" on the second line will be removed, and 2 lines down, after the word "mechanism," there will be a new footnote, footnote 4, which will read document CAC/COSP/2015/L13, And may I also further clarify, Mr. President, this document will become an annex to the report. So eventually, once the final version of the report is done, this footnote will read "See Annex 1" to the document which contains the report. These are the changes to this draft resolution. Thank you, Mr. President.
Уважаемые коллеги,
Colleagues, as far as I know, this draft resolution was adopted in a preliminary fashion during the consultations. May I take it that the conference adopts this resolution with the amendments that were just made by Mr. Vlasis? No objections. Resolution L10 is adopted. I'd like to find out if there are any requests for statements or requests for co-sponsorship of this resolution.
Соединенные Штаты.
The United States, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you would please add the United States to the list of co-sponsors. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Бельгия, пожалуйста.
Belgium, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to request to add Belgium to the list of co-sponsors, please. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Japan, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Japan would also like to sponsor this resolution. Thank you very much.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Mali.
Merci.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask you to add the name of Mali to the list of co-sponsors. Thank you. Thank you. Peru, please. Thank you very much, President. Peru would like to also join the list of co-sponsors. Thank you. Thank you. Slovenia.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Slovenia would also like to co-sponsor the resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Now we can turn to the discussion of resolution L11. And I would like to once again ask Mr. Vlasis to...
President, the only pending matter in resolution L11, Rev 1, related to the title of the resolution, which will now read, St. Petersburg Statement on Promoting Public-Private Partnership in the Prevention of and Fight Against Corruption. The change would be to replace the word declaration with the word statement. Thank you, Mr. President.
Уважаемые коллеги,
Colleagues, as far as I know, the text of this resolution, of this statement, was agreed quite some time ago during the process of consultations. And the last compromise that was required related to the title of this resolution. May I take it that the conference agrees to adopt this document with the title as just voiced by Mr. Vlasis? I see no objections. The St. Petersburg Statement is adopted.
Есть ли у кого-то заявление?
Are there any delegations who would like to make a statement or be co-sponsors of this resolution?
Пожалуйста.
Yes, please. Guinea, please. Thank you very much, President. Please add Guinea to the list of co-sponsors of this resolution. Thank you very much. Iran, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. My delegation would like to support this resolution and be a co-sponsor to it. May I also ask the Secretariat and you to add our name to be a sponsor of L4 as well? Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you very much. Namibia.
Thank you, Mr. President. Namibia supports this resolution and would like to be added as one of the co-sponsors of the resolution. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you very much. State of Palestine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We would like also to join supporting this resolution, and we would like to be co-sponsors to it. Thank you very much.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Morocco, please.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you very much, President. Morocco would also like to co-sponsor this resolution. Thank you. Thank you. Indonesia.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can you add Indonesia as the list of co-sponsors?
Спасибо.
Thank you. Senegal. Thank you very much, President. Senegal will also like to join the list of co-sponsors. Thank you. Madagascar. Thank you, President. Madagascar also would like to be placed on the list of co-sponsors of this resolution. Thank you. Colombia, please.
Простите.
No, I apologize. The Comoros.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you very much, President. The Comoros supports this draft resolution.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Gabon. Thank you, President. The Gabon participated actively during the discussion of this resolution. We fully support it, and we'd like to join the list of co-sponsors. Thank you. The Sudan, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sudan supports this resolution and would like to be added as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you very much. Panama. Thank you very much, President. The Republic of Panama also co-sponsors this resolution. Thank you. Thank you. Paraguay. Delegation of Paraguay would like to also co-sponsor this resolution, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you.
Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Thank you, Mr. President. We would like to be on the list of the co-sponsor for this statement. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Any other requests from the floor? Thank you. I see someone else. Yes, please. Kenya.
Kenya would also like to co-sponsor this resolution statement. Thank you.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Costa Rica. Thank you, President. We also like to express our support to this resolution. Thank you. I do not see any other requests for the floor.
У нас пока нет.
Now, we do not have any other documents that would be ready for further discussion. We do not have the translations of those documents, so now we will have our lunch break and resume our work at 3 p.m.